Hey, what's going on everyone? Thanks for checking out my video. This is episode 6 to 5 unmarked locations around Fallout 4. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series, and if you're new to this, I suggest checking the description to check out all the other episodes. I add the playlist into the description for your guys' convenience. So, on that note, let's get this show on the road. To start this off, I'll be showing you guys a awesome hidden cave underneath Red Rocket. If you remember when you first encountered Dogmeat, and all of the mole rats came up from the ground and started attacking you, well, they came from a storage place for Red Rocket. If you go to the terminal on the desk and click the safe storage text on the terminal, it will send you to a document basically explaining how they hid their waste underneath the place for inspection. And the ironic part is, down here in this cave, there is a Trash Busters award. And it states that the Red Rocket shop was awarded for the greatest year-to-year waste reduction by a single store. Respect for the environment is an important part to them. It's just kind of funny because the vice president doesn't even realize they've been hiding their waste from year to year underground in this cave. But still they got that reward for respecting the environment. I guess they can't say nothing as long as they don't see nothing. I don't know, pretty funny little story about this place. And there is also a few mole rats that you'll encounter down here, along with a decently tough glowing one as well. Not to mention a bunch of explosive barrels that actually caught me by surprise, so be careful with your shots and explosions. I didn't know that there was that many explosive barrels down here when I first came down, and well, let's just say they can do quite a bit of damage without some good armor on. There is also a lot of great loot down here, especially on your beginning travels. This is a great spot to scavenge when you first start up. And not to mention, if you've already gotten through the game, it's just a nice spot to check out. Anyways, yeah, that's about wrapping up this location. The next one is located right here on the map. It's actually two shacks that are surrounded by water. The first one I'm taking you guys to is literally floating on the water. I find it pretty awesome how much extra details the developers add in, realizing that some details that they add in, no one will even feast their eyes on what they created. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to show you guys some work that probably a lot of people pass up. And, well, here's one of them. At least I passed this one up. But thanks to a comment that was recently left on a past episode, this spot was actually recommended to me to go check out. And his name is Jacob Vineyard. So, hey, thank you, Jacob, for recommending me this spot. But yeah, I went to go check this place out, and it was pretty cool. I mean, nothing too interesting on this shack to loot, but still a pretty cool area. And not to mention, while I was here searching around checking this place out, I accidentally stumbled on another area. So I'm just going to add this with this location because it's literally right next to it. So all you have to do is just really swim a little further off this floating shack over to this giant rock that this boat is next to. You can find another hidden shack on this island where this giant rock is at. And it looks like this person might have been living here with his mom or grandma or someone that he was taking care of in a wheelchair, because you can spot a skeleton on top of the roof of this little shack, and I believe that's the person who was taking care of someone in the wheelchair, because the person in the wheelchair is actually up the scrap that leads to the other side of this giant rock. And as you can see, if you look down, there's the person in the wheelchair, just there on some boards looking out at the sea. Very strange area. There's also a buff out here as well, right next to this person in the wheelchair you can pick up. Anyways, that's about it for that area. This next location I have you guys is a random trader area next to a boathouse and a Jaws Easter egg. If you head to this location right here on the map, you can find a unmarked trader store, and down the road is a bus filled with skeletons. Further down will be some cars with also a bunch of skeletons laying around, and not to mention the campfire on the beach next to a grill. Anyways, if you make your way from that campfire up to this boathouse on the hill, you will find some loot to scavenge inside. There is a safe behind the counter, so make sure you don't pass that one up. Also, next to this boating house, you can find some docks with more loot to scavenge. But anyways, where this Jaws Easter egg comes in is literally right behind the boating house. I know I keep saying the boating house, but seriously, it's literally right behind it. You will find a boat that is like randomly out in this water with a shark on it, where it kind of looks as if it is eating this skeleton that has a blue bandana, a camera, and a machete. Well, yeah, this place is actually looking like the same scenario that happened in the Jaws movie. It looks like they set this up very similar to Jaws, which is freaking awesome that they take the time to actually think out this and put it into the game. It's pretty cool, But yeah, that's about wrapping up this area. This next spot is right below Mystic Pines, which is right here on the map. This spot is for a quest from the Covenant settlement. If you haven't done the quest, I highly suggest checking it out. It's a really interesting one. It's called Human Air, in case you guys are interested. Anyways, once here, as you can see, you'll see a fisherman, and he's pretty grumpy about you being at his spot. Let's just say that much, and you can't take nothing from him. He's not holding anything, so if you kill him, you're pretty much killing him for no reason, or you're killing him because he's grumpy. Anyways, there's kind of a sad scenery here of two skeletons that look like they passed away together. But what's the most interesting part about this place is you can actually enter the sewer pipes of this area. And inside is the place for the Covenant that I was mentioning before. It's a side quest. I'm not going to spoil anything too hard for y'all. But let's just say down here, they were doing psychological experiments. And you can find some holotapes that pretty much talk about the experiments down here and what they did to perform these tests. It actually gets kind of creepy. Okay, so lastly up on this episode, I've actually covered this in the past, but I added it with a Easter egg video. I'm not sure if you guys saw that one. Well, anyways, I'm just going to be showing it again in this episode just because I think this place is so awesome. Okay, so anyways, this location will be located right around this area. I had to add this one for this little series I have going on for y'all. And, well, here it is. As you can see, it's a Stonehenge area made out of cars. Extremely creative for Bethesda to actually incorporate this into their game. Keep in mind, there will be a fairly tough behemoth when coming here as well, and there's also some loot that you can get here too. The behemoth, however, should only spawn if you come here at level 10 and up though. The only reason why there is nothing here in the middle area of this Stonehenge was because I've actually been here in the past. But there is some decent loot that you can loot. Nothing too out of this world though. But yeah, that's about wrapping up these 5 unmarked locations. I have to say, this has ended up being my longest episode so far in this series. So, on that note, hopefully you guys did end up finding this episode enjoyable, and some of these spots that I showed you end up being useful for y'all in some kind of way. As always though, please remember to take a little bit of your time and leave a like. The support is greatly appreciated, everybody. And hey, if you feel like it, maybe decide to share this series with someone. Maybe they'd find this interesting as well. I mean, that's up to you though. I'm not trying to say, share my series, make this more popular, go and do it. No, I'm not saying that. If you feel like it though, go ahead and do it. Same goes with liking the video. I'm just leaving a friendly reminder at the end of the video. You're entitled to do whatever you want. But this has been your Rifle, and remember to stay safe out there, everyone. Hopefully I'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.
10 creepy locations in Fallout 4. Number 10.
This place is an unmarked location in Concord, and it's not too difficult to find. When first entering on the first floor, you will notice some skeletons lounging out in the living room as if they were set up like this. When traveling upstairs in this place,